What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode. Today we are going to talk about the one and only, the original melody maker, Carlos Santana. Let's go. It all started with this, well, not actually the actual DVD, but with this CD. I found this CD standing in the closet of my dad's CD closet, and it was flipped around, and I saw this picture, this very picture of Carlos Santana holding this guitar. And I thought to myself it was the coolest thing, the coolest guitarist that I've ever seen. And I have spent hours, days, maybe even years, playing and listening to him, to all the records, and figuring out how does he do the melody, how does he get those melodies to sing. And it is puzzling me up until this very day, I have to say that, yeah. But it's like honey with jalapenos. I think that's the best way that I can describe it. Is it's got a sweetness to it, and it's got some ferociousness to it, and that is what he's capable of doing in one note or in one sentence. He can make it sing, or he can make it cry. And a musician who's able to do that, I mean, yeah, then you're taking the listener and you're giving them, you are sort of directing their emotions via the melody, and that is something that is extraordinary to me. A lot of times when you're playing melodies, and you have to really listen and focus inwards to listen what you want to hear, and to listen a little bit more, let the heart speak without any filters, basically. I think that's how he does it. I'm guessing that's how he does it at some point, but the 24th of June, I am going to see him live for the first time. And I've had a couple of close encounters. I almost bought a ticket back in, I believe, 2009 or something. But I think that show got cancelled, and I have lost touch. I have lost touch with his music for a while. I was more focused in towards other guitar players, other guitar heroes, and more metal oriented stuff. But since I think 2023, I've gotten back to listening to his records and watching his live performances on YouTube, because there's a lot of vintage old videos from him back in the 70s and 60s and 80s where he's ripping it up, so, and he's always had a very good band with him. He's always had good musicians surrounding him, so that's definitely worth checking out. I'll put a link in the description box for some of the videos that are really cool to watch. There are there are countless of records of Carlos Santana that you can check out. Of course, Supernatural is my favorite, but I got into Carlos Santana around Shaman, which is also a really nice album to check out. The fun thing about Carlos Santana is you have so much stuff to choose from. I mean, there are all the classics, you know. There's Abrax, there is of course Moonflower. That's also a very experimental kind of album. You also have C-Bob, which leans a little bit more towards, I would say, El Di Meola, which I guess these guys know each other and, you know, influence each other as well. So that's a good album, and even some newer work is really cool. You know, Africa Speaks is a very percussion heavy oriented album, and it really brings out the roots, the African roots, and the more bohemian kind of stuff in the style of Santana and in his playing style as well. So that's definitely a really good album to check out. There is a very cool small EP as well called, I think it's called Mona Lisa. The Search for Mona Lisa, I believe. Basically, Carlos went to the Louvre and saw the Mona Lisa for the first time, and he was mesmerized by this painting, and he wrote some music to it. And I think the track, or it's not the title track, it's more the I think it's the opener of it, Do You Remember Me, that displays his full dynamic range as a guitar player. He starts off really small and he builds up, and it's this sort of Spanish salsa kind of feel, and you know, it's a lot. I think I cannot recommend enough to listen to that track. That is just, I think, one of his masterpieces when it comes to guitar playing, and you know, just the sheer virtuosity that he's displaying there. So now in 2023 I bought this guy. Video on my YouTube channel has been watched more than 6,000 times, and a lot of people of course want to know, you know, what is it about this guitar that is so amazing. And it's a very expensive guitar, of course, and I had to sell my beloved Gibson to get it. And I can tell you it was a little bit of a leap of faith because I've never played one of the Santana models. I've never played a SE as well. So, and I went to the Fellowship of Acoustics here in the Netherlands, and they didn't have a model at the shop at that point. And well, they said I could test all the other guitars. So I got a little bit of an idea and a feel for what the entire line looked like from PRS. And yeah, I ordered this sort of going blindfolded into it, and this guitar has done pretty much all the melodies on my new record. Ever since I've been playing this, my melodies have gotten clearer. I don't feel the need to shred or to play fast, or I really want to connect the dots. I really want to make people go, wow, you know, that was something else, you know. This guitar does this really well. It's very clear, and it was luck, pure luck, that this guitar was as good as that I thought it would be. But then again, it works for Carlos Santana, so you know, and I've been listening to him since I was 14, so yeah, it made sense that this guitar would eventually end up in my hands, and you know, I would like it. I hope this guitar stays in my possession for as long as I'm walking this earth, because it is a beauty to watch, and it's an incredible instrument to play. So yeah, to Carlos. yeah, I'm going to see him for the first time on the 24th of June, and also, of course, I am going to release my album the 24th of June. And that is basically, for me, a tribute to his work, and I'm doing it in my own style. It will be a mix of metal music. There are influences of Rabia Massad, there are influences of Mark Tremonti. I even got a Steve Ray Vaughan little moment there. I have Eddie Van Halen tap, which is daunting, I have to say. Yeah, the overall arcing theme of this album, Year of the Lion, is going to be this melody that keeps binding everything together in this nice package of the album. I am very extremely proud that I have made this album. It's like my playlist just went huh. So how do you wrap up something like this? Well, I am going to see him the 24th. I'm really looking forward to seeing and hearing him playing. I'm going to take along some friends as well. They're just as Santana crazy as I am. This completes sort of I guess a boy's dream for me. This little kid that got a hold of his CD and was listening to it and didn't know what it was that he stumbled upon, and he dissected it and he listened to it and it became embedded in him, and I am very fortunate that I can now finally see him and hear him play, and you know, that I can release an album a little bit as a tribute to him and just be amazed about his music and his, you know, his style and his playing. So I hope you guys are just as enthusiastic as I am about him. I am thinking of doing more Guitar Hero videos. Like, you know, I'm also a big fan of Steve Ray Vaughan and of Rory Gallagher, so maybe I can do some tributes to that. But for now, I want to close this off with the original melody maker, my number one guitar hero that will always be on number one, and that's Carlos Santana. So thank you for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe. You know, leave a comment down below if you have a favorite track or album of Carlos Santana. I really would want to know. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so very much, and enjoy the new album. Ciao.